The Sega Master System. The challenge will always be there.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 6 in our 20 from the Sega Master System series, and this game was a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up in the Darius series created by Taito. The arcade game was originally released in 1989 and called Darius II, and this is also called Sagaia. I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced, but it's a really graphically impressive game for the Sega Master System. And in this one, unlike I believe the original arcade game, you get to choose between the first player, which is named Proco Jr, and the second player, which is named Tiat Young, instead of playing two-player simultaneous play. And in the arcade original, the game is on a split screen, I believe. And this is not. But this still has fantastic graphics. There is a little bit of slowdown due to too many sprites on the screen at once at times, but it's otherwise very, very impressive. This also has an option screen in which you can select 1 to 5 extra lives. And you can have like automatic fire for button A or button B. Just keep them on automatic. You can change the game level between easy, normal, or hard. And like I said, you can choose between player 1, which would be Proco Jr, or player 2, which is Tiat Young. If you want the game to be a little bit easier, I would recommend that you play as Tiat Young, because they start the game with better firepower than Proco Jr. You have a bomb and a laser to start with, and from some of the groups of enemies that you destroy, you will get a power-up. And there I got a shield. This game is really frickin' hard. And I'm sorry I'm not very good at this. But the different types of weapons that you could get, there is a red power-up, and not only will you get power-ups from destroying certain groups of enemies, but you will also get some very nice bonus points from doing so. But there is a red power-up that gives you bullets and beams that fire straight, and it can be upgraded multiple times. There is a yellow power-up that gives you lasers that fire at different angles, and that can be powered up multiple times. There is a blue power-up that gives you a shield, and that can be upgraded multiple times. There is a green power-up that gives you bombs, and that can be upgraded multiple times. And there is a 1-up icon that gives you an extra life. Yeah, your shield doesn't last through very many hits, and you will lose all your power-ups when you die. I used, I think, like at least a couple save states in this game. Sorry, I'm just not very good. But this game has fish or sea life themed bosses, just like in the original Darius, which was released by Taito in like 86 or 87. But I like the Darius series. They're kind of cool games. And like I said, this one is called Sagaia, or at least the release for the Sega Master System is called. I hope you're having a good weekend. I will start work on my 5th game for the Sega Master System series after this one. And looking forward to finishing off that series and getting back to some requests. Alright, I got my shield back. Now note that there are zones, and they are from A through L with that letter designation. And this is our first marine-themed boss, and it is called Hyper Sting. They have goofy names, and it always says, warning, such and such is approaching fast. The bosses in this game are a hell of a lot easier than the actual stage gameplay. There will sometimes be a ship that you see wandering around the boss. That ship is very helpful if you destroy it. It can act as a smart bomb and take out all enemies around it, or it can damage the boss if it's around during the boss fight. And that's the end of that boss. And now we go on to the next stage, and you can select, well actually no, you fight the boss one more time here, and shooting that smart bomb robot or whatever that was helps hurt the boss quite a bit. Now we're done. That's the only stage where you have to turn around and face the boss the other way, I believe. But now we can choose between going to B or C. The first stage, A, takes place on the Sun, and B or C take place on Mercury. Then on D, you can only select D, not like D or E or whatever. D is on Venus. Here's where the game just gets a little too hard, and I can't. I have trouble not losing all my lives. You don't have to kill off this seahorse mini-boss, or whoops, there I lost all my shields. You just have to stay alive long enough, and it'll go away. But Zone D is on Venus, Zone E is on the Moon, Zone F is on the Moon, Zone G is on Earth, Zone H and I are on Mars, Zone J, K, and L take place on Jupiter. And I believe the arcade original had more zones than this port. But I've already mentioned the different power-ups that you can get, and that you lose them all when you die. Later on, I will show you all the zones, and I will put on a cheat via the Pro Action Replay cheat device, or its emulated version anyway. Just before the #1 game in this series, I will do a brief look at the Pro Action Replay for the Sega Master System, and I think that was only released in like Europe, but you can use it on at least the Fusion or Kega Fusion emulator. And here is the boss of Zone. What was this, C that I chose? It's called Alloy Lantern, and it's a lantern fish. And you don't have to destroy the tentacle or the whatever above its head. You just need to shoot it in the mouth. Yeah, the bosses, especially when you have a little bit of a slowdown, are so much easier than the rest of the game. But yeah, if you can destroy that one ship or robot or whatever that is that's hovering around the boss, it'll hurt the boss. And it also appears in the regular zone area and acts as a smart bomb if you destroy it, and takes out all enemies on the screen at once. There, that hurts the boss a little bit. But yeah, you need to shoot this one in the mouth. Yeah, the bosses are so much easier than the regular gameplay. I might have seen Darius II in the arcades. And again, that's its arcade name, Darius II, but it is, I guess, also known in other parts of the world as Sagaia, and in this port. Hope you're enjoying my Sega Master System series so far. I'm enjoying discovering these games that I never played back in the day, never heard of. A number of them that were not heard of by US players. That is not the only part of the boss. You go inside that lanternfish's mouth, and then you fight this other fish inside. And this fish can open up and shoot some missiles. But this is quite easy. Just shoot its mouth when the coast is clear, and then get out of the way because it's going to scatter some shots. If you haven't noticed before, if you don't have a shield, one hit will kill you. So you'll want to get that shield as quickly as you can. And again, the red power-ups give you bullets and beams that fire straight, and you can get multiple more red power-ups and upgrade it. So there's like a forward shot, double forward shot, there's like a shot 2, a cone shot. I can't remember what that looks like, but there's so many upgrades for each of the power-ups. There's red, there's yellow, there's blue, and there's green. Yellow has lasers that fire at different angles, and blue has the shields, and green has the bombs. There's one button that fires just regular lasers, and the other button fires bombs. And you want to just constantly hold those down as long as you set them up for rapid fire in the options menu. Just hold down the buttons non-stop throughout the game. And again, this game gives you nice bonus points for taking out a group of enemies. You get like somewhere between 1,000 and 9,000. I don't think you get extra lives for reaching certain point values, but there will be 1-up icons from some groups of enemies that are destroyed here and there in the game, and you can get a maximum of 9 lives. Like I said, the original Darius II, I believe, had 2 screens, split screens, and that might have been how the original Darius was. And we will see all of the remaining stages. I chose D instead of C. We will see yeah, like I said, all the stages that I didn't play, we'll see those, and I'll put invincibility on those, the invincibility code that I put in from the Pro Action Replay, and it prevents you from dying even if you dip into lava or touch a ceiling or something, which would normally automatically kill you in most horizontally scrolling shooters. But yeah, you can get, like I said, 1,000 to 9,000 for killing off a whole group of enemies. And that was my last life, so it's game over. You can continue, and you'll start at the beginning of every, or at the beginning of whatever stage you died on, and you get to continue 5 times. and I got on the high score list. Yeah, you can get some nice points for taking out those groups of enemies. I'll put in my initials here. And yeah, I reached the Venus stage, Zone D, and we will now play as Tiat Young. The other player, Proco Jr, was a male pilot, and Tiat Young is female, and she gets better power-ups to begin with. She gets a shield, and I think like maybe double shot. We'll start with her, just to look at what she starts with. Yeah, double shots, ooh, yeah, bombs and shield and lasers up and down. Yeah, definitely play as her to start with. We'll scoot forward to see Stage B that I did not yet get to play. And this is more fully powered up. Looks pretty awesome. But there's that smart bomb again that I can use. And now we're going to face the boss of Zone B, I think it was. Alloy Lantern. Yeah, I think we fought him before. Yeah, that was the Lantern Fish. Again, if you are wondering about which player to use between Proco Jr and Tiat Young, use Tiat Young. You get a much better power up to start the game. And anytime you see this type of robot thing here, destroy it. It'll be a smart bomb in the regular game, or in the regular zone play. And it'll be it'll cause damage to bosses. Here's that fish thing that shoots the missiles. And then B zone is over. Yeah, there will be repeated bosses in the various zones, and they all have some semblance of sea life involved. But yeah, we'll see excuse me, we'll see me all fully powered up in this game. You can get bombs dropping down below. You can get lasers that shoot out in multiple directions. We're just gonna see parts of each zone. You'll see enemies repeated in many zones. This time we have Driosom. Where do they get these freaking names? And this one is like a sea worm or something. I'm not sure what it is, but once you're all fully powered up, the boss fights are a super snap. And again, the boss fights in general are a hell of a lot easier than the regular zone stages. And then this takes place on the moon. Zones E and F. And again, in the original, I guess there are more zones. I don't remember if it goes all the way from A to Z, but it just goes from A to L. And later on, you might not be allowed to go to certain stages. I think if you play Zone I instead of Zone H, you can't play Zone J. And you might face a different boss depending on whether you're Proco Jr or Tiat Young. And this is a crab boss, And you can blow off his various appendages. And I have invincibility, so screw you, buddy. But yeah, if you're going to use the Pro Action Replay code for invincibility, it is 00C82509. Gives you total invincibility, and that this is Zone F. And it also takes place on the moon. We're going to go in alphabetical order here. Beating Zone J, K, and L will give you an ending. One of 3 different endings. The endings aren't really anything to write home about, I don't think. I was really impressed by the graphics of this and how well the arcade translated to the home port. This was not released in the US. This was released in, I guess, Europe, Brazil, and Australia in 1992. The arcade original was released in the US, I guess, in 1989 and was called DARIUS II, at least in the US. I love the sea life motif in the Darius games. I think my favorite of the Darius games, I haven't played all of them, but I liked, I think it was called G Darius, that was in 3D graphics. Really cool looking. I think it was a mixture of 2D and 3D. But yeah, that was the smart bomb thing that you can use. And on some of the stages, they'll have 2 different settings. You can be like underwater and then above water. And this looks like an apocalyptic or post-war or something type of setting. Warning, a huge battleship, LEADAIN, is approaching fast. Yeah, I don't know where they get the names for some of these bosses. This is a sea urchin with tentacles, and there's some pretty bad slowdown sometimes, like here, which makes the boss fights even easier. But for the most part, I was really surprised by how good a port this was. The music's very, very good. Some of Taito's strongest. Yeah, you can. Your ship can turn around and face the other way depending where you are on the screen on a boss fight, and you have to destroy this centerpiece until it doesn't shoot at you anymore. But I can't stress it enough. Start the game with Tiat Young, the female pilot, because you get much better power-ups. I hope you're able to stay safe, able to entertain yourself enough or whatever with this pandemic going on still. I have to work at a hospital where we sometimes deal with those patients. Gotta wear a mask on all day. Wearing a mask really isn't that good for you. You can kind of feel your face just getting all hot and feeling yucky. I can't wait to take my mask off at the end of the day. Quote-unquote experts that say it's a good idea to wear 2 masks on at once, I think they're out of their minds. I am not going to do that. But at any rate, I'll try not to delve too much into the politics of mask wearing or whatever. This boss is got multiple tentacles, and this is a bit of a slowdown here too. There's like one boss I think that you cannot face as Tiat Young, and it is and it starts out as the battleship Yamato, but then it has like some sort of sea creature on the inside. We'll look at that later. But yeah, Zone A is on the Sun. Zone B and C are Mercury. Zone D is Venus. Zone E and F are the Moon. Zone G is the Earth. Zone H and I are Mars. And Zone J, K, and L are Jupiter. Well, I know I didn't want to say anything political or whatever, but I thought it was kind of exciting when Trump was saying that he'd like to see men on Mars before too much longer. That would be awesome. It'll happen someday. We'll have set foot on all the planets one of these days, or in the Milky Way solar system at least. And that tentacle thing you can't destroy. I think you have to shoot it to keep it from reaching out and grabbing you. Yeah, some of the stages will kind of have two different settings in them. And this battleship is the Grand Octopus. And as I mentioned before, some of the bosses are replicated, and we'll see them multiple times. And we already saw this guy. And we'll skip over to Zone J. But yeah, if you didn't play Zone H, you can't choose Zone J. But we'll look at Zone J here, or at least a quick little bit of it. Yeah, I just skipped to see parts of the remaining zones because so many of those enemies that we've seen in earlier zones just repeat. This is Bio Strong. They have such silly names for the bosses. And this is just a bunch of orbs that you need to shoot down, and eventually there will be a big orb that you need to shoot enough to destroy. And when you're fully powered up, the battle is very short. See, that's the end already. And then we'll see one of the endings. The ending for J. And there we see Proco Jr. and Tiat Young receiving medals for their successful mission. But that is one of the endings for Sagaia, also known as Darius II by Taito. Originally released in the arcades in 1989 and released for the Sega Master System in Europe, Brazil, and Australia in 1992. And now we will see the full credits. The credits will appear in all three different endings, and then you get to put in your initials. Yeah, and as I said, I don't think that you can get extra lives at point values. Certain point values. You get them by collecting 1-up icons that you can get from some enemy groups that you destroy. But go into options before you start your game. Select Tiat Young because they have better power-ups to start with, and keep the both buttons on automatic fire and just hold down the buttons throughout the game. Just keep blasting and keep bombing. And if you want invincibility on, get the Pro Action Replay cheat module or whatever, and put in 00C82509 for invincibility. The Pro Action Replay for this wasn't released in the US, but at least Sega Fusion emulator has it, and you can put codes in for it. And now we'll see K, Zone K, or at least little parts of it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't know what the weather's like where you're at. We've had some rain lately. I'm looking forward to the summer. I really am. I gotta stain my deck, or put some seal on, replace some rotting fence posts. But most of the major work I've had to do over the years. Oops, sorry, a little tiny bit of glitching. Most of the major housework or whatever I've had to do over the years, I've gotten caught up on. And that was a different boss that we saw for this ending. Haven't mowed the lawn in a long time because it's just been too cold or too rainy or whatever. And I'm sure the lawn could use a little bit of mowing. And this is the K ending, or Zone K ending, for Sagaia or Darius II. I don't remember which of the Darius II or Darius games I'd seen back in the day. Don't really remember coming across them way back in the day when they were brand new. This time we're going to look at Zone L, or at least a little bit of it, and then we're going to see the boss of Zone L and get the third ending. It's weird that sometimes there's no sound effects, but just music. And this is one of those instances. And now we'll face the boss of Zone L. Like I said, I can't remember which zone it is that if you're Proco Jr. instead of Tiat Young, and I think I'm now playing as Proco Jr. There's one of those zones where you'll face a different boss if you're Proco Jr. than if you're Tiat Young, and it's a Yamato battleship. Not the spaceship from Space Battleship Yamato or Star Blazers. This is ending number 3 for Sagaia or Darius II. I don't know if this is considered the best ending or whatever, or a good ending. I don't know. But we'll see the Yamato boss in a little bit. I skipped the credits from ending 2 and 3 because we already saw them with ending number 1. Yeah, it's Zone G. If you're Proco Jr., then you get to face the Yamato battleship. A huge battleship, Yamato, is approaching fast. off to outer space. A theme song for Star Blazers. That's a really, really great cartoon for its time. And there weren't really much in the way of space soap operas at the time. See, it's actually got a like a squid or something instead of the actual Yamato battleship, which was a real battleship in World War II. But that was Sagaia, or Darius II, by Taito for the Sega Master System in 1992 for Europe, Brazil, and Australia. Well, this is Crazy Clown Racing. Thanks for watching Sagaia, or Darius II, by Taito, game number 6 in our 20 from the Sega Master System series, and I hope you join me soon for game number 5. Y'all have a good one, everybody, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.